And good morning, or good day, or afternoon, whatever it may be for you. Here we are on Monday after a delightful weekend. Squeaky Chair and I, and Michael the microphone. Man, it was a long break. But I will say this, now it's time to go back to work. Kids go back to school. Whew. All right. So, we can go back to work. Talking about pop culture, movies, entertainment, whatever we want to. No more children running down the hall coughing while I'm trying to record. I hope you had a great Christmas and New Year's like we did here. Tell you what. So, no coffee today. However, if you enjoy coffee, Invader Coffee. Link in the description. They don't pay me. It's just delicious. Today, however, it's a C4 kind of day. Pretty good energy drinks if you're looking for one. They don't have that energy drink weird aftertaste. And I should know, I drink a lot of energy drinks. So, today's kind of a special episode, right? I know, they're all special because I'm special. Right? But I want to talk about somebody cool today and a project they worked on. Over the last week, I got on the Twitter. Man, I can't stand Twitter. I can't stand social media in general usually. However, I reached out to an actor to ask him a question about possibly interviewing him for a new show he's involved in. And unfortunately, the company that has made said show has put a restriction on him talking about said show. Unless they say, hey, go talk to this person about said show. And that's fine. I was just quite impressed that they got back to me. As far as they're concerned, I'm a nobody, right? I mean, you would assume most actors, actresses, they live on a different level than the normal folk that are out and about in America or wherever. But what ended up happening was we had, for a couple of days, me and this gentleman had a few good conversations about movies and things in general. I was starstruck, to be honest, and quite amazed that they had time to talk to me just about normal Joe stuff. And I truly respect them for that. Obviously, they don't have to get back. I'm sure they get, thousands of messages a day. And this gentleman's name is Matthew Marsden. Now, he's been in quite a few things. He's a British actor, singer, producer, director, writer. Kind of a jack of all trades. I think one of the biggest movies he was in was Black Hawk Down. He was in Resident Evil Extinction, I think. Yeah, Extinction it was. And he's in the upcoming Amazon show Reacher. And Reacher's based on the Jack Reacher novels by Lee Child. Kind of actually excited about this. I don't generally expect much from Amazon, but Mr. Marsden says that she'll be pleasantly surprised and enjoy the new show coming up. It looks like they took one of the books, and the first season is that book. So instead of trying to put one book mashed all together in a movie, they're going to do it correctly and run a season of that book. You know, the storyline being that book. Now, I've read all of the Jack Reacher novels. Lee Child has now passed it on to his brother as his age has gone up, and as of right now, I don't necessarily enjoy the new writing style. Nothing against his brother. I believe his name's Andrew Child, but I like Lee Child's writing style much better, and so it's going to take a little getting used to, maybe. But either way, I'm a big fan, which would be why I reached out to Mr. Marsden. But what I want to talk about is not Reacher, because that doesn't come out until February, and we'll just have to wait and see how Amazon handles that. Hopefully well, all right? Because if anybody has read the Reacher novels, Jack Reacher is like 6'5", just built like just a massive man. So, of course, Tom Cruise had to play him. 5'0" midget. Whatever. Oh, that's so frustrating. Anywho, so after talking to Mr. Marsden, I was looking at some of the newer stuff he's done, and he did a movie called Deadlock recently with Bruce Willis. And I have to say, after watching it, I, for one, have talked many times about how Bruce Willis just phones it in now, but he actually did a bit better in this movie, Deadlock. He put a little effort in. Now, I don't have any behind the scenes, stories about it, but it looked, from what was on screen, like, Bruce Willis tried a tad harder this time. But it was a rather enjoyable film. Unfortunately, Mr. Marsden was just one of the side characters with Bruce Willis, but quite a bit of screen time, and he did a great job. Excuse me, I'm just, the C4, I think I drank it too fast. Anyway. So, if you got a minute, check out that movie, and it was quite good. But the one I really want to talk about is a movie called I Am That Man from 2019. And unfortunately, the viral constraints of this movie made it kind of slide through unaware for most people. I had never heard of it, but I found it on one of the streaming services, and boy, am I glad I watched it. Now, first things first, this is not a blockbuster movie. It's not even, I wouldn't say, a Hollywood, high-priced movie. It's a more simple, like mid-range price movie that they made. And here's why. From Mr. Marsden himself, he said that because it deals with a military veteran and some of the things they go through when they get out of the service, he did not want Hollywood to make it, because Hollywood has this habit of telling you what their version of a veteran is, and it's not what a veteran is. Now, some movies show it quite well, But generally speaking, Hollywood wants to tell you what they define a veteran as, and it's usually a bad person, which is not how that works. That's not the case in real life. So Mr. Marsden wanted to tell the story himself. So he wrote and directed it and starred in it. And it's on point. For all the veterans out there, if you want to watch a good movie, I would suggest this. And for everybody else, you should watch it as well. It's a story about a veteran whose life is in shambles once he comes home from the service. His marriage is a wreck. His relationship with his child is not what it should be because of all the leaving and coming home from his time in the service. And it's about the struggle of being a father, a husband, as well as rejoining civilian life. And in the midst of this, a friend of the veterans is brutally killed in a racial attack. And he must use his abilities and the things he learned in the service to get to who did it and make them pay. It's a good movie. Well done, well written. You know, it is what it is. Now, if you're looking for all flash and fireworks and John Wick stuff, you're not going to get that here. But if you're looking for a story, just a solid story, structured correctly and structured well, in my opinion, then go check out the movie I Am That Man. I found it on Tubi, what? TUBI, the dumbest name for a streaming service. Whatever it is, it's free. And, you know, you can watch, it has some advertisements, but you can watch the movie for free. And you should definitely go and give Mr. Marsden, Matthew Marsden, a follow on Twitter. He enjoys telling the truth. He doesn't swim in the same direction as most of Hollywood elites. And he's a very nice man. He took the time to visit with me. We discussed movies. We discussed veterans, of which I am one. And I believe he has a good heart and a huge amount of talent. So give it a watch. Give him a follow. And from Michael the Microphone, Squeaky Chair, and this fat nerd, I will see you tomorrow.